All right, are you ready? I am going to reveal the cards for the Stamp of the Month Club. Friends are like seashells. So every month I feature a new stamp set. So this is the one for February. And then the kit includes a card kit to make 2 each of 3 different card designs. So here are the card designs for the Friends Are Like Seashells Stamp of the Month Club kit. I have colors that are inspired by the Sand and Sweet, the Sand and Sweet designer paper. So we've got Blushing Bride, Seaside Spray, So Saffron, and Sahara Sand. And we're using bits of the designer paper on the cards. And then I always try to include a fun fold or some kind of card that like moves or does something. So this is the hidden message slider card. And so this is what I'm going to show you for this last project. I'm going to show you how to make the hidden message slider card. Now this is one that I've done many times throughout the years. I always love to bring it back. And it's just such a fun one. It has another sentiment that comes down there as well. So the little notch tells you where you need to pull, and you pull that down and you get the different sentiments. So let me tell you a little bit about this suite. Let me get out that mini catalog again. Right here. So the Sand and Sea suite is, I think, my favorite from the mini catalog. I love beaches. I love water. I was just saying the other day, when we retire, we need to buy a house on a lake. So I love this whole suite. I love the colors. I love just the essence of the sand and the seashells. So we've got lots of products, including the stamp set with the coordinating dies, an embossing folder that coordinates with them. I'm going to show you that in a minute. The opal rounds, the seaside shell stickers, the pearlescent paper. This is a 12 by 12 specialty paper. And then this 12 by 12 designer paper with the Sand and Sea. Let me show you close-ups of that. So this is a 12 by 12 paper. I've cut it down just to show you. But you can see just the beautiful soft colors. Flirty Flamingo, Blushing Bride, So Saffron, Sahara Sand, and Seaside Spray. And then I love the texture of these other sides. So I've used several of these prints in the cards. And yeah, just a fantastic paper. Did I show you guys? Oh my gosh, that was so pretty. I think I might have to show you another time. I have another project. Next week, I'll show you the frost white paint on the, do I have it right here? Maybe I can show you really quick. This was so cool. I saw another demonstrator show this, and, holy smokes, it was just gorgeous. Let me grab here. Okay. I love it when I just decide to do something totally unplanned. Hold on, I'm gonna grab. Okay, so take some of the frost white shimmer paint, and you could use, actually, you know what works really well is the blending brush. Let me grab those. So the blending brushes currently are not orderable, I think. I think they sold out temporarily because they were just so popular. So if you're not able to order this right now, you'll just have to wait until it's available to order again. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this paint onto a clear block so that I can work with it. And then I'll take the blending brush and just blend it onto the cardstock. So you can create your own pearlized cardstock in any color. So this is the frost white. We also have the shimmer paint in champagne, the champagne mist, I think it's called. So you'd go all over the cardstock and then let it dry. And then when you're done, you can emboss with the embossing folder. And then the really awesome thing, the embossing folder can be cut out with the coordinating die. So you run that through your die cutting machine, and then you have these beautiful textured shells, and you can have them in any color that you want. So this is the frost white. Again, we also do have the champagne. I don't know if I have any of the champagne shimmer. So that's going to have more of like a pinky hue. This is definitely the white shimmer. So that's what that looks like. That's how to do it. Blending brushes are the best. And then you can just take this under the sink and wash it out and reuse it for something else. So I always wash those blending brushes when I'm done and just get them nice and clean for the next project. Okay, really cool extra little tip there. Let's get that out of the way. So Sand and Sea, you're definitely going to want it. Okay. Again, here is the link if you want to reserve your card kit to make these cards yourself. You get everything pre-cut to make 2 of each card, and you can reserve your kit at tinyurl.com/seashellkit. Next, I want to show you some tips for stamping. So the stamp set has individual stamps for each of the shells, and but they all die cut on one big die. So there's one big die shape that cuts all of the big shells. So let me put this aside. The very best way to stamp, especially if you're stamping lots of shells, is to use the Stamparatus. So what I've done is I created a template, and then I die cut several of these from white cardstock, and then you can just put it in the template. Now, I've already done this, but I'm going to show you. I'll peel one off. So the first thing when you're doing this is you can line these up on the die cut when they don't have ink on them. You can also just put them on a block and try to stamp on it, but it's so much easier to see where you're going while it doesn't have ink. So I've done that. My template is in place. I already did this with the other ones. And then you close it to put it on the Stamparatus flap. Okay, and now you're going to add the ink and stamp it. So I've done it in pink and yellow already. Blushing Bright and So Saffron. So the next color I need is Seaside Spray. I'm going to ink. And then close it and stamp. I'm praying that my cardstock didn't shift. Sometimes I give it a little back rub. It sticks with the photopolymer stamps a lot, so I'm just gonna give it a back rub. And there we've got our images all perfectly lined up. And so you can clean the stamps and then redo it in all the colors that you want. So for my cards, I am using the pink and the yellow, Blushing Bride, So Saffron, Seaside Spray, and then I also did it in Sahara Sand as well. And again, you'll just clean the stamps when you're done, and then I actually need to peel off the small shells because we're going to use those in a different way on our card. Okay. What else did I want to show you? So then the embossing folder lines up with the die cut. So I put the die cut into the embossing folder. You can just die cut cardstock, but if you're going to die cut the stamped images, I would die cut first and then emboss, because there's like these little grooves and the die cut fits really perfectly like in those grooves. And so it makes it easy to line up. So you kind of get it nested in there and then send it through the Big Shot. And so then here is the result. You get that texture on the stamped image. Can you see the difference there? Like here's the flat image, the blue one, and then the added texture is just so, it's so amazing. So another way that I added some depth to these seashells is I used the solid stamps to color, and let's see, I'm going to do it on this little one here. I'm going to do it in the blue ink, and you can stamp off if you're afraid it's going to be too dark. So you could stamp off and then you can stamp on there. And if you want it to be darker, then you could just stamp straight on there. But that just adds like some depth, because you get the lines in the dark color, and then you get the nice, like, you sort of fill it in. So I did that on this pink one. We're going to use that for the card. And we're going to use that little blue one. So then to separate the shells, you just trim around the shape on the large die cut. Okay, so we're going to use this one and this one. And then we need the big yellow one. So I think it's so white. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Let's get my yellow out and add some of the shadow in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just adding a little bit of color in there. Okay, let's cut this one out. You can use these other like seaweed pieces for parts of your card. And so on one of the cards, I did incorporate some of this seaweed. So let me show you that. It's so pretty. Here on this one, I kind of just tucked it in there behind the die cut shells. Okay, those are the 3 that I need for this card. So I'm just going to set these aside and use them for other cards. You can emboss them and do whatever you would like with them. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of everything. Before I lose these, I'm going to put them on the black. I'm going to use this as kind of a background stamp on the card base. Can you see I just added those? So we're going to do that. First, let me show you the measurements for this card, and we're going to kind of walk through them. So the card base itself is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to use the trimmer to score. That's the lighter blade. We're going to score at 4 inches and 8 inches. And I'll include these measurements. Oh my gosh, I almost cut. I'll include the measurements in the video description when we're all done. So score at 4 and 8 inches. And then you're going to cut 2 slits from 3/4 down to 4 3/4. And you're going to do that at 3/4 in from each of the center panel score lines. So 3 1/4 inch, or 3/4 of an inch, and 3/4 of an inch this way. And remember, we did this before. We're using the ruler here on the flap, and we're looking at these markings. So we're going to cut from 3/4 of an inch. Okay, that's right here. And this line on the blade indicates where it's cutting. So that's the line we're lining up with 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so this score line, I'm lining up here at 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to cut, lining up my blade at 3/4, and I'm going to go all the way down to 4 3/4. Again, lining up that score line with that one. Now, if you get the Stamp of the Month Club card kit, this part will be done for you, and so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, let's do, I'm lining up the score line at 3/4 of an inch on this side. And I'm going to cut again from 3/4 down to 4 3/4. Okay, so that is the card base. This is going to fold and create a pocket. And then we're going to have the center part be here. It's going to make sense in just a second. Let me show you the other pieces. We need a Sahara Sand cardstock that is 3 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. Whisper White, that is 2.5 by 4, and then I'm going to get a little piece of twine out as well. Okay, I forgot to write it down on here, but you're going to need to cut this Sahara sand piece. You're going to line it up at 2 inches, and you're going to cut almost all the way down. Okay, so I left maybe like a 1/2 inch. You could go even farther if you want, just not all the way through. Okay, so this, you're going to cut that at 2 inches. That's going to make a little more sense in a second. Okay, so here are the pieces of our card for the hidden message slider card. I'm going to put this in the description when we're all done so you can see that. So you want to do any stamping on the card base before you start putting things together. So we're going to use those seashells, and I'm stamping in Seaside Spray all around the mulberry bush. No. All around the perimeter of our card front. So everything in the middle is going to get covered up. So it doesn't matter that you stamp in the center. You want to stamp all around the edges. Maybe one more. Okay, so we've got our edges covered. And then this panel is going to go in the middle, and it should fit right between those slits. If you feel like it's a little bit too big, like I feel like mine's a little big, I'm just gonna trim it just a little bit. You want it to fit right in between those, right in between the cut lines. And we'll glue that down. You may choose to stamp this first, but I'm going to just put it on. I am confident in my stamping, and I would like the next piece to be the guide. Okay, so that fits right in between the slits. And then we're going to, oh, really quick, we need to add a little, where's that one, the circle? Here it is. We're going to do a 1.5 inch notch. So that's going to be right at the bottom there, and that will be where we can pull the card from. Okay, so we're coming with this. We're coming from behind, and you only want that top part to come through, and then it's going to kind of weave and come back around like that. So from the back, this is what it looks like. You are weaving the top half, the 2 inch portion, through the slits in the cardstock so that you can see it in the front. And then in the back, this is what it looks like. Now we want this to be connected now that we've weaved it through. So we're going to use some tear and tape, and then we're just going to bridge these back together. So the tear and tape, its sole purpose is just to reconnect those. I'm not even going to take that off. I'm just going to leave it. You could use Scotch tape if you want, but tear and tape's right here on my stamp table, and so it's perfect. Okay, so now when we pull on this, then it travels down and it reveals the second hidden message. So that's why I wanted to put the white on first, because now I can see the space that I have to stamp in. So let's go ahead and stamp those parts. For the top, I'm going to put "You are unique and completely amazing." And we're going to do the starfish in pink. And then the first message that you see when the card is closed is going to be, "Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way." Okay, and then what do I have? Oh, I didn't get it out. The little seaweed. The other thing that we're going to stamp is when you pull this out, you have an opportunity to write a message here. And I'm just going to add some more words. I'm going to say, I'm so happy I found you. So I'm going to add that when it's pulled out. And then just to add a little bit of texture, I'm going to do, let me get this one out. This sort of looks like sand. So we're going to do this in the Sahara sand. And I want to just stamp off really quick. Oh, there's something on there. Okay, let me try that again. Stamp off. Oh my gosh, that's way too big. Oops. Okay. Let's get out the smaller one. I should maybe have stamped that before I put it together. Get another block. Okay, stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp. And so that I'm just adding some texture here. The little sands. Okay. Looking awesome. Looking awesome. We are almost done. Now we're just going to put the card together and add the seashells. Isn't this card so fun? We want to use that tear and tape again along the side. So this is going to close up to be a pocket. I'm going to close this. And then we're going to fold that over. And close the card. So this card does not open. You would write your message down here. And so now we just have to add I almost called them flowers, the seashells. I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to add these. I wish you could see my desk. It's so messy right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to use some seashells, and they're going to just dress up this card and be so pretty. Now, this is a moving piece, so I want to make sure that my adhesive is only staying here. It's okay if the image comes up and down, but you want to make sure that it's not going to stick to the card. So your adhesive should only stick to the that slider piece, but like I said, it's okay if the image hangs over, because it will still slide even though it's hanging over. So we've got that going on, and then we're going to do another dimensional at the bottom. I'm going to do this one, and our cute little baby shell. I covered up most of the sand. You can't even see it. Oh, well. I love the twine. I think it's very nautical. So we're going to add the twine bow with a glue dot. Boop. Okay, what do you think? Hidden message. Oops, there's a stowaway. The hidden message slider card. It's so fun with the seashells, but really you could do this with any stamp image. So I think it would be fun, like with the chickens. Oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to make a chicken one. I'm sure I'll be making some more versions of these really fun hidden message slider cards. So let me bring them out to show you the cards again. These are the Stamp of the Month Club cards, and you'll get a card kit, the pre-cut materials to make 2 each of all 3 cards. If you're interested in reserving your kit, you're going to go to tinyurl.com/seashellkit, and that's going to take you to the Google form that you'll fill out to let me know that you want to participate, and then I'll send a PayPal invoice and I'll get everything ordered and send it all together. Now, if you add on the dies, which is optional, then you'll get to choose a celebration gift. And I also have an option to add on the embossing folder. Right now, now the embossing folder is not orderable. As I said, it was so popular that it temporarily sold out, but I do have the option to add the embossing folder, and as soon as they're available, then I will order them and send it to you separately. So you can still get it all together so that you have it to go with your stamp set. It's just going to come a little bit later. I think right now they're scheduled to come in March 8th, so it won't be that long for the embossing folder. You won't have to wait too long. So let's review the cards that we made tonight for Thursday night stamp therapy. We did the hidden message slider card. We attempted and failed at the the kissing technique, but we still made this cute card with the Your Amazing project kit. And our first card was the touch of ink die cut spotlighting technique. So I hope that you enjoyed the cards that I shared tonight. Which technique or which card was your favorite? Leave me a comment and let me know. I always love to hear what you guys like to see, so it helps me decide what to show you again in the future. Now come back tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. Central Time on Facebook. I'll be doing the celebration spotlight day. I think we're on day 8. Let's take a look at what is next. Today we did touch of ink, so tomorrow we're going to be doing the Berry Blessings bundle with the stamp set and designer paper. So come back at 1:00 Central Time tomorrow. I'll post it on YouTube after we're all done. Oh my gosh, no, don't go. Wait. I forgot I have more cards I wanted to share with you. I grabbed some cards from my swap box using the Seashells. Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set and the whole suite. So let me just show you those really quick before you go. So this is the stamp set again. There's just so many stamps in this image, 23 images with the different shells and the different sentiments. And so this collection of cards really highlights the stamp set really well, and I don't want you to miss these. So here is one. I actually kind of copied this from the catalog. I used the embossing folder as the background and then used the stickers, the seashell stickers that are part of this suite to create this card. Here's another card that I made with the stickers. Really simple layout. I love this. The squares are 1.5 by 1.5. I think maybe they're 1.25. Let's do a quick measure. Yeah, 1.5 by 1.5, and then this is 2 inches by 5.5. Really clean and simple, such an easy card to make. Here's a card swap from Gloria Pollock, and she did this on white and then she sponged on it, and I love the soft colors and how that turned out. Such a beautiful card. This one by Anna Masternick. I love the misty moonlight and how it contrasts with the soft sea foam Sahara sand, and then this light, what is that pink? Oh my gosh, that is such a pretty color. Is that petal pink? Really, really pretty. I almost feel like I think it's petal pink. It just looks orange compared to all the blues. The fine art floral ribbon. Oh, mwah, so pretty. Here's one that I created, really simple layout with the designer paper using the back side of this Blushing Bride ribbon. And this is what the opal rounds look like. They've got like these little specks in the middle. They're so pretty. Here's a swap card from Margaret Vandelay, and she did a collage of the shells. I love, and I think this one came from the designer paper. You can cut out, I don't think the dies match, but you can hand cut, fussy cut, some shells from the designer paper. So I did that here on this card, which is a gatefold card. This one by Carol Sticky, I love. This is that pearlescent paper. So she die cut and embossed that, and you don't even need to do anything else. Like, it's so pretty just on its own. And then she added the sentiment. I love the stripes of the colors back there though. Like it really makes the white shells pop. Here's another one. This one was also inspired by the catalog. You can see the inspiration through both of those. This one's by Faye Cowell, and she's got the different shells back there. And then here's one more very similar to the layout. We did the quick fun folds card class. We did that. And I did a whole bunch of these cards, different card-based colors, and then just mixed and matched the seashells. So this is such a beautiful suite. If you don't have it already, definitely make sure you get it. Now, this suite is going to be available through the end of June. I had somebody asking me, celebration is ending, but the mini catalog has just begun. And so this mini catalog goes through June 30th. So you've got plenty of time to get all of your favorites from this catalog. So don't worry. I know there are some things that are selling out or temporarily unavailable, but they are coming back. They're coming back in stock, even if they're out of stock right now. And you've got lots of time to get them. You can get all this stuff in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Use hostess code NNTTQDMC. If you order $40 or more, you'll get a free gift from me at the end of the month. A little mini project kit and a free gift. And if you order more than $150 though, don't use the host code, because then you get your own host rewards on top of the celebration rewards if you order by Sunday, February 28th. Oh my goodness. Okay, that is it for me now. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate that you came to see what I had to make. I hope you enjoyed the projects that I shared.